All right, so I want to kind of put my 2 cents in this Rittenhouse verdict situation. I knew he was going to get found not guilty. I knew it. Just especially off the rip. Like, the judge seemed biased. It seemed like he was on the defendant's side. Yeah, the fact that he got to draw the jury and all this shit, and I knew it wasn't going to work in the favor that it should have been. I knew he was going to get off. But if anything, he should have got some type of involuntary manslaughter, if not manslaughter. I know, like, in legal terms, murder is like premeditation, like you plan to kill somebody. And so people get off because you're not really planning to kill somebody, even though you're bringing an AK-47 into a situation that can, you know, potentially lead to a deadly situation. But, you know, being honest, the legal system isn't about the law. It's about what kind of lawyers you have. Because you can do whatever the fuck you want, but if you got a good lawyer, you can either get out or get less, you know? So, the verdict didn't shock me. What really shocks me is that people really believe this is self-defense. And it's self-defense, I get it, because he's protecting himself from said people coming onto him. But here's the deal. You aggravated the situation. If you weren't there, there will be no situation to be aggravated. And from my understanding, the guy who started with the R, I don't know how to pronounce his name, is the one that he shot first, right? And I don't know if he was armed or not. I heard he wasn't armed, and then next thing you know, he has something. Depending on where you getting information from, is this, there, or there. So I'm not even talking about his situation because it's a gray area. But the skateboard dude and the guy with the pistol who got shot in the arm, I believe, that in themselves are good Samaritans. And that's because you have to think of the situation. You have Kyle, who killed this dude, right? People coming up to the situation don't really know what's going on, don't know why he shot the dude, but all they know is that he has an AR, 47, 13, 18, whatever the fuck it's called, and he killed somebody. Most people out of good faith will try to apprehend this person before they hurt somebody else. And so the guy with his gun, because you know, if you have a gun, it's best to use the gun in a gun situation, who tried to detain him and it didn't work. He ended up getting shot. And then there's this skateboard guy. He didn't have a gun. All he had was a skateboard. Tried to stop him and ended up getting killed. And so they're just trying to do what they feel is right, because in their mind, all they know is that he killed somebody and he needs to get that, they need to get that gun out of his hand. But what kills me is that, depending on who you hear it from, the people who got killed or got injured, they deserved it and all this other shit. And it's like, my nigga, people's political views are so embedded in this case that people aren't thinking straight. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're right or whether you left, people just, he's a vigilante. He was protecting himself. This, that, and the other. I kid you not. If that was your loved one who got killed by this kid, you will not be saying it was self-defense. You will be saying that motherfucker shouldn't have been there. You will be saying if that motherfucker wasn't there, my loved one would still be alive. If this wasn't so much about who was right and who's in the right and him protecting himself, you would realize he's a 17-year-old boy, man, whatever you want to call him, who's carrying a firearm that he should not have, who goes across state lines, which I could have sworn, depending on the laws, is illegal to do unless it's concealed. And I doubt it was concealed, like in a case or some shit, but who knows. So yes, he's 17-year-old with a firearm that he shouldn't have, crossing the state lines in a protesting situation. Like, well, what the fuck you thought this was? Where did y'all think this was gonna go? And so, again, like, you could sit here and say he defended himself, but I'm pretty sure if that was your loved one, you would not be saying that. You would say he would need to have some type of repercussion. He would have to have some type of, you just can't sit here, agitate a situation or be in a situation and then you have to retaliate because you put yourself in a situation and then get mad or you can't sit here and put on your do big boy crimes or big boy shit and then when big boy punishment come, try to bail to your mama. You just can't. Like, and then I can't keep seeing this. He's just a kid. He's just a kid, sweetheart. There are 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds tried as adults. Even 12-year-olds. Even 12-year-olds that are tried as an adult. He could have took them charges. Okay? But again, I knew murder wasn't... murder in legal terms is basically premeditated. And you can argue that it's not. I tweeted about this too. I tweeted basically this how I feel this situation is like, say an armed burglar enters a house and the homeowner retaliates and the homeowner gets shot and killed in the process of defending himself or whatever you want to say. And then the perpetrator says, I was defending myself. I had to kill him. And it's like, if you weren't there, motherfucker, that motherfucker will be alive. That's how I feel about the situation. It's like you got the drop on him, and so now you're trying to cry defense. But in my eyes, you're the agitator. You can't get mad because somebody tries to defend themselves because you agitated them and they got killed and you want to say self-defense. I just don't. No, that just doesn't sit. No. It is what it is at this point, but shit like this, I can see in due time from whatever protests going on. I can see people, especially definitely with who got intentions on their mind to shoot. I can see them with their ARs and all this shit going up to protesting and shit, and it just getting crazy. And then they want to sit here and say self-defense. I can see that. I can see that in the near future. It just opened a gate for people to basically cry wolf and shit, and it's not a good thing. It's good God Almighty. And I really hope the families go to civil court. I really do. I really hope they go to civil court and press charges there against the family of the Rittenhouse or something, because he just can't put himself in a situation and then and want to be found completely innocent. You caused their death. You're the reason this escalated. If you weren't there, this wouldn't have escalated, and these people will have their family members. So I really hope there's justice for those victims. And yeah. So America.